Welcome to the Liberated Feminine Podcast. I'm Lucy Lampe, your host, and in today's episode, we're addressing the common question that I hear from women: where is my masculine counterpart? I'm ready. I'm available. Where is he? What's going on? Where have all the cowboys gone? Where are all the good men at? So I want to address 3 specific things keeping you from the relationship your heart longs for. Now, this is not formal dating advice, or this is how you get what you want out of your man type of situation. All right, that's not how we roll here. We're always inquiring deeper into the ways that we block love, our barriers to love, the ways that we are rejecting the abundance of the universe, including that tangible, manifested love in the form of a partner. Now, the very first thing I want us to, that I would like to invite you to look deeper into is the ways you may be keeping your shield up. So here is the inquiry. Are you actually open to being protected and provided for? Let's just stick with those 2 terms. The protectorship and providership that comes with an embodied, and I'm not talking about distorted masculinity here, like trying to control and possess, but really taking this true caring ownership. And when a man in that space, a deep grounded, I hesitate to call, conscious man, because that comes with so much baggage, honestly, in the verbiage these days. But you get this, like in a deep grounded man who knows who he is, who lives and moves with integrity. When he loves something, he wants to care for it. He wants to protect it, not control it, but protect it, not possess it, but take ownership. And so often there are these subtle ways that we're communicating with the universe that, we are rejecting the protectorship and providership that it's trying to nourish us with in these small ways. Do you reject or justify or downplay compliments that you receive? That's a big one. That's a common one. And it's easy to just, minimize that and like, no, it's not a big deal. But that is one way that I see, and that I myself did this, see a lot of women rejecting the love and that providership of care and affirmation and affection from the universe. Now, whether that's coming from your partner or from an acquaintance at the store, maybe someone who genuinely, without the ill intentions, tells you like, your hair looks so beautiful. I love how you're dressed today. Your energy is so vibrant. And if your first instinct is to say, you look better, or yeah, I got lucky today, or it's just because it's a new outfit. No, stop minimizing your amazingness. Okay, open yourself to receiving that. There's other ways too that we tend to, especially us, strong, independent women. It's like, no, I can open my own door. No, I got everything. I got me. I see you, girl. I know you got you. And it's safe to let someone else got you too. Now, maybe this is speaking to you already in a committed relationship, a long-term committed relationship, and maybe you're noticing ways that you have been rejecting the ways that your partner is really deeply wanting to provide for you, provide, the more subtle needs that you might not be very attuned to being aware of. So this is one way, is keeping our shield up in just the day-to-day mundane stuff. A second thing that could be keeping us from that relationship that our hearts really long for are these unexplored fears. Now, speaking to you as a recovering independent woman who does it all, and I can still do it. I know I can. If I had to, I could. I don't want to. I got nothing to prove. Like, just give me the love. Yes, I receive it. But here are some of the fears that I also personally had to confront and work through before I could experience this relationship dynamic that I'm in now, where I can receive and I can acknowledge and appreciate and have this reverence for the ways that my partner shows up. And that just, that's just a beautiful upward spiral. There's such beautiful synergy there. The more he feels acknowledged and appreciated for how he's showing up, the more he wants to. And then the more I feel like, oh, I love this. I receive it. It's not like, no, I don't need that. It's like, yes, I receive. I'm picking up what you're putting down. Okay. One of those fears is that receiving protectorship means owing him something. Receiving providership means I now owe something. That was a massive distortion that I had that really affected my marriage before this, my relationship. That belief that, oh, if I receive this from you, then then it's tit for tat. And I don't want to keep tally. So I'd rather not receive. I'd rather just, I've got it. I'll do this for me. There's also this fear of, that receiving from a partner can take away your freedom. And not just because of a built-in sense of obligation that you owe them something, but also like, okay, I'm going to have to show up differently. Just fundamentally, now I have to be different. And so many of our projections and our deeper unresolved things will come up. And when you're in a dynamic where the other person really is, like laying all their cards on the table, it can feel sometimes in some ways even more unsettling than when you're in a partnership where your partner is not really aware of their shadows. Because then it's kind of like you're uncovering certain things together. And yes, you will continue to do that. That's just inevitable. But you know what I'm talking about? Like when you first really begin digging deep. And the big stuff is coming up. And so you're kind of on this thing together. But when you don't feel like you have to pull it out of your partner and they are doing their own work and they've been doing their own inner work, so many other things are going to come up in you. Because now it's almost like if you had a sense of purpose in essentially, I cringe at using this word, but therapizing your partner and coaching them through their stuff, then that is a big shift in dynamic where now you're in a partnership. You're both a part of something and you're both contributing, and no one is saving anyone, but you are there to witness and support and call forth the greatness in each other. And so there's something else to consider there. Another fear that can come up is this fear that his providership will diminish your power to, let's say, for example, earn your own income, or maybe that it'll take away your motivation to do your work. I experienced that too. I experienced that so big when I realized, oh my God, all I want to do is just melt. I just want to melt in your presence. Am I ever going to want to work again? But, just realizing that, okay, this is a softness that I'm tapping into that I just haven't gotten to tap into yet. And I'm going to soak that in, soak that up. And I know that that's not going to feel like that forever. And so I let that be what it was. And I also created space for myself to keep being me. It's so important to keep creating for me. And space to continue on with my practices instead of getting caught up in making my new identity this relationship, because that's not me. My relationship is not my identity. And so this is something else too. Again, these are deeper fears that you can explore, more profoundly on your own. And then there's also this bit about strong, independent women. This fear that if we are receiving from him, if that makes us weak or that makes us inferior. And when you have been accustomed to let's say your masculine energy being in competition with that of your partners, Because you might think like, oh, if I'm achieving, and I'm like, look what I did, that it would inspire him or make him proud of me. A lot of times what we're seeking is dad to be proud of us. Let's be fucking real, y'all. Those who did not get that validation and affirmation from their fathers, hey, me neither. That's me. I'm raising my hand right here. That is me. That was me too. And so to seek that from a partner, it can be such a subconscious, deep down thing that we do. So when our masculine is seeking validation from them, it actually only perpetuates this like clashing with our partners if they really do embody more of that masculine energy, right? Because then it's like we're in competition. And now I'm not about to get into the subtleties and dynamics of when you're both, career oriented and you both have purposes that you're excited to fulfill in this life, because there is a way to do that and to embody that and be the fullness of who you are and be a high achiever and all those things in a way that is not creating this sense of clashing and competition in your relationship. I think perhaps that'll be something we can go into a deep dive in a guest conversation. So stay tuned. But the other piece to this too, with the unexplored fears, is sometimes we're afraid that what he is actually able and ready and willing to provide is not going to be enough for what we need. Sit with that. Just let that sink in for a moment. Is what he is ready and willing to provide enough? And if it's not, that doesn't make him lesser. This is a deeper fear that a lot of women, we don't want to look at. So the second category, all these unexplored fears, that could be keeping you from energetically being a match to the relationship that you're really longing for. Now, the third thing is outsourcing your inner king. Oh, okay. Let's see. Which rabbit hole do we want to follow for this one? Because your inner king, it's not about you being masculine. It's not about you being, all in your strategy and your plans and your kingdom building. But it's about really meeting that part of yourself, meeting those parts of yourself that have that capacity, that have that drive, that have that vision, and do so, that move forward on that plan with integrity and with truth and with love and with this deep devotion to caring for, to taking ownership. If you have not met those parts of yourself and you have not welcomed them and integrated them and really learned from the source itself what that feels like by welcoming the source of unconditional love and acceptance and affirmation and validation, the source. If you're not tapped into that and you don't have that embedded into your body, it's going to be hard to not outsource your inner king. Naturally, you're going to be, you want what's not there to fill a void. And so that would be really easy. Again, speaking from personal experience there. Makes it really easy to look to someone else to be that for you. And there is a big difference between two people who have met these deeply, their inner king and their inner queen, let's just call it for simplicity's sake, that the two people who have met these parts of themselves and then come together and they have this special, unique dynamic between the two of them. Because when I'm doing my thing, when my partner's out of town and I'm solo parenting and I'm holding it down at home, I am naturally stepping into my inner king more than when he's here. And when he's home, that part of me gets to shut off. Not entirely. I don't shut it off entirely, but it shuts off a lot, y'all. There's a lot that it's just my body. My body feels different. I walk around different. It's like, and so it's not like I'm being someone that I'm not, but it brings out this other like depth of softness in me. And I just want to receive all of him. I'm just like so open. I'm like, everything that you can offer, I am open to give it to me. And I will appreciate the fuck out of it. And I will make it known that I do. And also there's this, I give from this space of fullness because I am full in myself. I'm full of love within myself. I'm not half of a person while he's gone, and then I'm complete when he's there, and finally I can relax. No, I am tapped into my inner king. I am tapped into the source of unconditional love that is both and neither feminine and masculine. And so just recognizing that you can be whole and complete in yourself, and also you have this beautiful, special, sacred dynamic with a partner that is a match to who you are and the love that you're embodying. I think that in the conversation on polarity and conscious relationship, there is just far too much emphasis on embodying one pole of the polarity and not enough on embodying love, period. Whatever form that is meant to take in the highest service expression, of love in that moment, in that context, in that dynamic. And so if you really focus on embodying love and connecting with these different textures and flavors of energy, such as your inner king and your inner queen, that makes a huge difference in the kind of partners that you attract. Now, ultimately, all of this has to do with opening yourself and softening the barriers around your heart to receive more love, to be more of a clear conduit of love with the source. So how is the universe trying to love you? How is God trying to love you? How is love trying to move through you? And maybe it's just a little scary. It's vulnerable. It feels vulnerable to let yourself need someone. It feels vulnerable to let yourself soften to these tender parts that do want to melt. The strong parts of you that want so badly to just melt and in the presence of someone. And may that someone, if you don't have a someone to do this with in tangible physical form, may that someone, first and foremost, always anyway, be the source of love. Because that is really where you learn what that feels like. And you'll recognize that more in people. And sometimes we do meet people that bring that remembrance to us. It's not always one thing that comes before the other, but being open again, emphasizing this, being open to how love is trying to reach you and touch you and soften you and heal you. So I'd love to hear which of these three barriers you resonate with the most, which ones, or maybe all of them, but which things came up for you. What resonated? What was maybe an aha? And what are you excited to go deeper into as you do your deeper inquiries with yourself? All right. Thank you all for tuning in to this episode. And until next time, here's to liberating your wild feminine heart.
Bring the boom, I bring the bass, give me a taste, they me the waste. I'm your little plaything. I got to